I mean, this is going to be fun. I mean, like I say,
Yeah, this is simple. I don't have to stand up.
and
I can go and lie down after this and all good.
you can go lie down. I don't know, I'm probably going to cut my meatballs.
Even 2 hands.
Oh,
Mate, that's professionalism there.
So here's a great big pile of tokens.
You want to hand bring the stuff over, man?
I've crossed it all over.
Oh, right,
Everything
yeah,
in
just
one
realised that. Ignore me.
So we just said to you, everything in one go.
It's been a long day.
So put the rings out in the middle and just put them like that. So here's a dial each for you. This is another resource you'll be needing, so I'll put that over there. And here is a reference card each. I'll put the favour just up here. You were starting, am I right? So
Yes.
that's for you. And you were crap. Is that right?
Yeah, he was crap.
You were crap, okay.
Yeah, just
So
because.
you were lion then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so got to keep it clean. No jokes about being crabs.
Don't worry, they've all been done many times before.
Mate, I've been playing crabs since
here's
it
a
first
stronghold
came out,
for
so
you.
it's it degenerates. You can straight out of barrel.
And they go face down, they are your provinces.
Yes.
By the way, I think that you might want to pile shuffle all of these decks, because I had a quick look when I was picking them up and they're pretty clumps.
No worries.
So if you'd like to pile shuffle, by all means feel free to go ahead. So let's have yours like that. What was this one again, is it? Actually, let's put that here. So, and then there you go, face down in a row as well.
Okay.
So by all means feel free to give these a pile shuffle. Now, did Alec tell us how we go ahead with this? Is it already streaming, or do we need to have someone activate it first?
They're finding Simon right now.
Right, so it's not on at the
Because
moment.
I've just been on here testing it for the X-Wing, so
Okay. Just don't want
I think he's
to start if
disappeared to get
nobody's
some
listening,
food and
that's
come
for
back.
You were being watched on the X-Wing. People posted about it.
Yeah, I didn't realise, because that's why when I realised it was on, I was like, guys, yeah, stop with the curse words, stop with the curse words. Get me in trouble.
Don't tell him the joke.
So you might want to give yours a quick pile shuffle if you didn't do it already, because they were pretty clumps when I was looking earlier.
Yeah, it is I can't get the words out today. It was reading about that they've reset the fluff, and it's like, yeah, it's the old clan champion in there.
Oh, well, some of them have changed. So, I mean, 3 of them have changed again since the original IP. And you've also got Shochu and...
Because I'm a little bit
Tsukimi.
gutted. Mate of mine
Tsukimi
was a
even.
massive Mantis clan player, and he's like, what's my clan? Why are they gone?
a little bit of hope. I did notice that in one of the early fictions, the name of Yoritomo was mentioned, so
Yeah.
I'm very much hoping that one day we might see them. It's at
Mate,
least part of the universe, which is
what's the two we're missing? Mantis and Spider?
if you count. Yeah, I mean, it depends what part of the game's history you refer to. You can just easily say Naga or Ratling or Shadowlands Sword, so...
It's going to be good. So if you get a chance to later watch, was it Gen Con where they did the first big tournament? Mate,
Yes, but the UK
honestly,
wasn't
the
far behind.
reception there was bonkers.
Well, we had that pretty big event in the UK as well. So
Yeah, it was a week winter.
5 are honoured, yeah, 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. 100-person invitational. We had an entire hall decked out with L5R. We
Yeah, I
had,
saw it.
10 foot tall
think
banners. We had those things.
Who's the head of
outside.
OP? Can I remember his name?
Who was that? Alex.
Alex.
Alex, yeah.
I'm going on Facebook and it popped up. It's like, just go and put back it down. It's just travel.
Okay, so now we'll just wait until we're told that we can start streaming. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think. It may be streaming already. We don't know.
Well, possibly.
If I spot somebody walking past who can tell
Which
us,
means
I
I've just
will
lost a
find
lot
out.
of friends.
So who was looking into that, did you say? Was it Alec who was going to find out?
I'll say Simon First Earth. He's disappeared somewhere, and then Alec went to go find him.
See, Alex I was not late to start explaining all this, but I think that makes a lot more sense if you did it when we're actually streaming.
Yeah.
No worries.
So it may be that we already are. But just
It may be, yeah.
yeah.
But in the meantime, maybe you can sort yourselves out with your fate and honour again.
Yeah.
So you had 7 fates,
Yeah.
so you get 7. You had 1 plus 7, so you have 8 fates. And your honour is the bottom left number on your stronghold.
Well,
I'm sorry, what was the other? Honour to
Bottom left number on your stronghold.
that one, yeah.
That's correct, yeah. I would say that's right, so that'd be confusing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Less confusion. My medicated brain might not handle confusion.
You'll be fine.
Which direction did Alec go, do you know?
No, I actually didn't catch which way he went.
Just wandered off.
Ask the desk if they can radio and find out what's happening. Oh no, wait, it's there now with Mike. So when they come, no, it's not Mike. Ah, come back.
They're just
I'll not keep
wandering
you waiting
away.
long. We'll get you started one
Yep.
way or another.
Ooh, there we are. What's this? Pleasure of 5 Rings. We're being streamed again. It's my lucky day. Oh, what are you up to?
One more game. After being 0-3, I'm now 3-3.
Nice. Oh, what, Destiny?
Yeah. My prize achievement of the day was beating my first opponent that wasn't a wolf.
I'm going to go Alec.
Yeah, no problem.
Has a finally beat a dude.
Hey. Yeah.
Lee was 3 and 2 last I saw. He got smashed in there about 10 rounds or something. Even though first round of combat, he took 8 damage. Unblockable.
The thing with Destiny, it's such a fickle game.
That's dead Maz straight away. And he took 7 unblockable next round.
Yeah, he ain't pulling back from that. It was like you hit me every bloody thing under the sun. It was like, oh.
It's Elite Vader that dropped Vibro Knife first time and then rolled out max damage pretty much. In fact, max damage.
They aren't so pretty.
Teeny tiny. Teeny tiny.
Okay, guys. We are live.
Well,
Right, fair enough.
And
They've
start
definitely been saying that.
demonstration.
That's
Yeah.
worrying.
So, for anyone who is tuned into the stream, this is the Legend of the Five Rings living card game, which will be released from Fantasy Flight in early October. So we have here 2 decks which have been constructed from different core sets. So these are not what you get straight out of one box. They are themed heavily around the clans that we've chosen. So here we have a crab deck using the stronghold of Shiro Nishiyama. And here we have a lion deck using the stronghold of Yoshin no Shiro. So I'll explain a little bit to you both about what your decks are going to do,
Yep.
what the themes are of those clans. So Crab tend to favour a military strategy. They also like their fortifications. They're known as the defenders of the wall. So they're going to build fortifications, they have abilities to interact with them, and it's generally going to be quite tough to defeat the Crab when they're on the defensive. Lion, however, they actually specialise in attacking, going to bring a lot of characters into play. You're very good at attacking on military, so they might also kind of cancel each other out in that
Yep.
way. The other big aspect of the game is political challenges. So neither of you are particularly specialised in those, but we have put cards in the deck that will let you win political challenges, so you will be issuing them during the game.
Okay.
So let's walk you through a sample round. So we have set up, the Crab deck is going second, Shiro Nishiyama. You begin the game with 1 additional phase to the 7 that you would normally receive every round of the game. The Lion deck begins with its standard 7 fates that it'll receive every round, and the starting players open. So each round is split into different phases. So you have a reference card, which on one side tells you what the elemental rings do, but on the other side you can see here it shows you what those phases are. First, you always have the Dynasty phase. we just need to complete setting the game up, and then we'll go straight to the first dynasty phase. So to set the game up, you choose 5 provinces which you've already put into your deck. One of them will be underneath your stronghold, and the other 4 will form your remaining provinces, and you'll be purchasing cards from those provinces during the course of the game. So we're going to put some cards on those now. You would take the top 4 cards from your white deck. You may find it easy to switch those around, I'll leave that up to you. But one of them would go on top of each of those cards. So after you've done that, you get one chance to get rid of any cards that you don't wish to keep. So you can secretly look at each of those 4 cards. So general advice for your first learn to play game would be try not to keep a selection of cards which all cost, let's say, more than 2, because you won't be able to afford many of them with your 7th phase, which is the currency of the game. And also, try not to keep a lot of non-character cards, although there are not many of those in those decks at all. The Crab deck has slightly more because it really likes fortifications.
Okay.
So, are you both happy, or would you like to get rid of any of those?
I'll keep it for now.
So the Crab
Get
deck,
rid of 2.
keeping. So how it works is you put 2 cards on one side, you refill from your deck, and then after that you shuffle the 2 cards from one side into your deck.
Okay.
And once you're both happy with your cards, we do exactly the same, using a 4-card hand which is drawn from the Conflict deck with the brown bags. So again, general advice here for your first ever game would be try to keep at least a couple of cards which only cost 0. You'll find the cost in the top left corner. And try not to keep the hand consisting entirely of character cards and attachment cards. Attachment cards have the name printed on the side of the card rather than the middle or anywhere else.
So same again, put it to one side, draw
Exactly,
it back
yes.
up, and then shuffle it back in.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that's okay.
Are you content with your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, then we are ready to start. So as mentioned previously, the very first phase of the game is the Dynasty phase. Now, unlike the old card game, Legend of the Five Rings Living card game features a shared turn. So you both perform phases at the same time, but there'll always be an active play. So the Dynasty phase, you begin by flipping over the 4 white-backed cards on top of your provinces. Very important that you don't flip the province cards themselves.
Yeah.
So the Lion deck, as the active player, will have the first opportunity to purchase one of those cards. So we have an action phase within the Dynasty phase, where you can either use an action ability from a card you have in play or a card in your hand, which typically you wouldn't do in the Dynasty phase, or alternatively, you can simply purchase one of those cards. You'll find the cost in the top left corner. Now, any card that you purchase will only stay in play until the end of the current turn. To mitigate that, you can actually overpay. So, for example, we have here a Kitsu Spirit Call which costs 3 fate. If you simply pay 3, it will only be in play this turn. If you pay 4, it will hang around for an extra turn. If you pay 5, it will stay in play for an extra 2 turns. If, of course, nobody interferes with that.
Yeah.
So, what do you like to buy?
Pay 3 for that one.
You're paying 3, so
Yeah.
you simply spend 3 fates. And that card is now yours, it's in play, and you would refill the province right away. And then it's your turn to buy something.
I'm going to go for Heed the Guardian, which is 1,
Okay?
but I'm going to overpay it.
So your overpayment goes on the card itself, yeah, just like that. So whenever the character would leave play at the end of a turn, you instead discard one of those fate tokens, and then you would refill the province, and then it's your turn to buy something. So you just need to refill your province there. It's a white deck,
Face down.
face down. So for those of you on the live stream, the Kitsu Spirit Caller has a very interesting ability in that it can actually bring back your other characters from the discard pile temporarily. So it will call upon your ancestors and it will bring the people who were with you previously to help you win a particular conflict. Well, the Heed the Guardian has an ability which requires you to have holdings in your provinces. Right now there are no holdings, so we can see here that we have a good choice by the crab player of putting 2 face on that card. It will hang around until hopefully we can see some holdings for that ability to be used.
Okay, so
That's right, so here we have a Steadfast Samurai, which is a typical lion card. As long as you are playing very honourably, then it's going to hang around. It will stay in play and let you attack that much harder than you normally would.
Go Borderlands Defender, cost 1, 2, 3.
So Borderlands Defender is a very typical crab. As long as it's defending, then your opponents, they cannot bow the card, they cannot send it home. It will stand there and resist anything that you do while it's defending.
Destiny players, very quickly listen up.
So, I'll
When
mention
your
here something
game
else
has
which is
finished,
unique about the Dynasty
if you have a
phase.
record
As soon as you
5,
pass
2,
your chance to take an
or
action or
better,
buy a card,
you make
then
sure
you have
that
passed for the
before you
phase
come to the judges'
permanently.
station with your
However, the
match
first person's pass
that
does
your
receive
deck
an
is
extra
organised,
phase.
and you will be doing a deck check. Okay, so bring your deck and your match slip over to the judges' station and we will do your deck checks.
I'm going to pass. So I get a fate to pass it.
Yes, so your first one's passed, so you
Yep.
get a phase, but you cannot take any more actions in this phase.
and I'll pass as well then.
Okay, so when you both pass, we continue to the draw phase. So you both have a 6-sided dial in front of you. And what you're both going to do is set that dial to any number. It goes from 1 to 5. And no matter what number you pick, you will be drawing that many cards. However, whoever picks the highest number will pay that much difference to their opponent in honour. So if one of you picks 3 and one of you picks 5, the 5 player will draw 5 cards, but will give their opponent 2 honour.
And there's no hand size, so
There's no maximum hand size, but honour is important because if you ever have 25 honour, you immediately win the game. If you ever have 0 honour, you immediately lose the game.
So, Destiny players, the timer is starting now.
what's that?
Yep.
So we both flip up at the same time, yeah? 2.
2.
Okay, so you both bid 2, so there is no exchange of honour, but you do both get to draw 2 new cards. So there is a chance to use actions at the end of the draw phase. I think we can skip through that, then proceed straight to the conflict phase, where you'll have another chance to take actions anyway.
Okay.
So begin with the active player. So would you like to take an action? That can be anything with the word action on it.
Action.
Or alternatively, playing a character on attachment from your hand. So you wouldn't usually take an action at this point because you can take actions in the middle of conflicts as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes there would be a benefit to taking that early action, which is why you've both got a chance to do it.
No
so-
action. Yeah.
Okay, so you pass. So this phase continues until you both pass consecutively, which you've both done.
Okay.
So as the active player, you now have the first chance to declare a conflict. There are 2 types of conflict in this game, military and political. So on face value, they're both very similar. A military conflict will use the red numbers on the side of each character. So the more you send, the higher your total skill is. Political conflicts will use the blue numbers. But there are also a number of cards in the game which can only be used in a particular conflict type, and they give the conflicts their particular flavour. So political challenges, you might get honoured or dishonoured, you might get sent home or bowed. Military, you might increase your military skill, you might send home your opponents if you have more than them, so that's where they start to feel quite different. So here's how you declare a conflict. So you would decide who is going to attack, so which of your characters. You would decide,
On this one, it doesn't have to be a face-up.
it does need to be a face-up one, yes.
Thought so.
So you decide who is going to attack and where they're going to attack. So there are 4 provinces you can pick from right now. You cannot attack the stronghold until you've broken 3 of the other 4. So let's pick those first. So as a general guideline, to break a province, it's quite likely you'll need around 4 skill in total. And of course if your opponent defends, it'll make it that much harder as well.
Attack with all 3 of them?
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Military attacks.
So, you don't need to decide on your defence straight away. So, which province are you going to attack?
The second one in there, that one, yeah.
Okay, so we know where you're going, we know it's military, and we know who is going. There's just one more thing we need to know, which is which elemental ring you're going to select for this attack. So I'm going to turn your reference card over, and you can see here a list of what they all do. And while you have a read through, I'll just explain them for the benefits of our live stream audience as well. So, the rings will trigger if the attacker is successful, if they win the attack. They don't need to break the province, they simply need to have more skill than their opponents in that conflict. So the 5 rings, the Ring of Air gives you 2 choices. You may gain 2 honour, or you may steal 1 honour from your opponent. The Ring of Earth allows you to both draw a card and choose your opponent to randomly discard a card. The Ring of Fire will allow you to either honour a character or dishonour a character. We'll cover that in more detail later if it comes up, but it will cause a small honour loss and it will give a character a skill increase or decrease. The Ring of Water will allow you to ready a character, any character, or choose a character with no face on it and then bow that character. Bowed characters, of course, don't contribute skill and cannot participate in conflicts. Whereas the Ring of the Void lets you choose a character which has fate on it and remove 1 fate from that character, causing them to remain in play for a smaller length of time.
I'll take the Void.
Okay, so it's a military challenge on Ring of the Void, so take the Void token, we flip it to the red side, and we show which province you're attacking.
Okay.
So the next thing we do is you turn over the province card itself, and you can see exactly which part of your enemy's land you have invaded now.
Elemental Fury. Yes.
When do I choose which character for that?
If you succeed in this attack, you'll choose it when you win.
Yeah.
So, after this province is revealed, switch the contested ring with an unclaimed ring. This conflict retains its time.
Reactions are optional, so it's up to you if you would like to do that. Bearing in mind the ring's ability won't trigger unless the attacker wins the conflict. But if there's something that you would rather face instead of Void,
Like
then
in the Void idea, take a Ring of Fire.
Ring of
instead.
Fire. Okay. So, and the last question is, would you like to assign any or both of your 2 characters to defend?
Can we play actions at any time?
After we know who's defending, you'll take turns to do that, beginning with the defender.
I'll defend just with the Borderlands Defender.
Just with Borderlands Defender.
Yep.
Okay. So the current scores are that the Lion Clan have a total of 5 military skill as the attackers, and the Crab Clan have a total of 3 military skill as the defenders. So each player beginning with the defender can now take turns using abilities on cards in play or in hand, which say action, or alternatively playing a character or attachment from hand, paying the cost.
I'll start off with my Stronghold. I can bow it to give each defending character +1 political or +1 military until the end of the battle. So that goes up by 1.
So that will give the Crab a total of 4. In order to destroy the province, the Lion Clan would require 8 skill, 4 for the province strength of Elemental Fury, and another 4 because there is 4 points of opposition from the Crab Clan. To simply win the conflict, they require 4 skill because the attacker will win ties. And that will always be true unless there is 0 skill on each side of the conflict.
So, can we take an action?
Yeah.
Now, my Stronghold, which gives them all +1.
So
It's
the
beyond
Lion Clan
8.
have exactly 8, which is a very useful number, as we covered a moment ago. But the Crab Clan now have a chance to take an action.
There's lots of technical mystery involved.
I'll pay 1 for route. During a conflict, choose an opponent's character with a lower military skill than a participating Bushi. Move the chosen character home. So that means they're not in the fight anymore.
That's right, so route will cost you 1 fate to play it. You have the Bushi with 3 military skill, and there are 2 Lion who, even with a stronghold, only have 1.
And that'll be 4.
4, of course, you're right, it has 4 to hit your stronghold.
So I
Did
can't
you-
send that one because it's not lower anymore.
That's right.
So send.
Just to double check, I was looking at the Lion side of the board, did you pay the 1 fate for that route as well?
Yes.
You did, good. So who would you like to send home? Steadfast Samurai is now home and no longer participating in the conflict, which leaves the Lion with a total of 6 skill.
Okay, so I pay 1, play charge, choose a character in one of my provinces, put that character into play in the conflict.
So one of the rules of the game is that if you use an ability that puts a character into play, you cannot then pay extra phase to keep him in play for longer. But you do still get a fairly sizable character at the cost of 1 phase.
Yeah. Now, if I pass, does that end my actions for the whole phase like it did with the Dynasty?
So the conflict action window will end when both players consecutively pass. So Dynasty is the only phase where a pass is permanent.
I will pass.
So as things stand at the moment, if you were to pass, you would break this province.
Guess it's a pass then.
Okay, so do this in a particular order. So first of all, we check whether or not you have broken the province. You have, so we rotate the province 180 degrees to show it's now broken. And we'll check to see if you were unopposed. You were not unopposed, which means that nothing happens, otherwise you would lose an honour for not defending. And then you resolve the effect of the ring and claim the token itself. So the Ring of Fire will allow you to honour or dishonour any character. And the effect of honour and dishonour is that all of that character's skill, political and military, will receive a bonus or penalty equal to that character's glory. Honour provides a bonus and dishonour provides the penalty. It will also cause the owner to gain or lose an honour when the character leaves play.
I can dishonour this one.
You can, and it will now receive -1 skill at all starts. If you were to flip one of those cards over, you'll see the dishonoured side.
Okay. That's quite useful. And do I tap from defending, or...?
You do, and as does the attacker. So all characters who are involved in the conflict or resolution immediately bow. That's the final part of the resolution. So now we return to the conflict action window. So, do we have any actions from either of you, or are you going to go straight into a second conflict?
So he gets to do one of his conflicts,
Yes,
and do I get to do one, or...?
Yeah, you will each get the chance in turn order to declare 2 conflicts. So 1, 1, 1, 1. However, they do have to be different types. So if you want to declare 2, one must be political and one must be military.
I will pass. So no conflict off me.
I'll pass.
Oh, interesting lines. Right, I'll pass again. So we passed both, so we've done his 2 challenges, my 2 challenges.
Okay.
That's the end of the conflict.
So we both pass. So there's one last action window at the end of the conflict phase. If neither of you do anything, then we're going to introduce something to the game called the Imperial Favour.
Yeah.
So you calculate how much glory you have on ready characters who are not bowed, which is 1 each, and then you add a further 1 for each ring you have claimed. So I believe this Ring of Fire is yours,
Yep.
so you have 2. So you claim the Imperial Favour. Now it has 2 sides. One is military and one is political. It'll give you a permanent bonus during the next round of the game of 1 to all conflicts of that type.
Right.
So which type would you like?
Go
Military?
military, yeah.
So the interesting point is that that bonus does not attach to any particular character.
Yeah.
So even if your opponent reduces a character to 0 or bows it, you will still have a total of 1 skill.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last things that we do are, if one of you would like to kindly place 1 fate from the supply on each of the 4 rings that were not claimed, anyone who declares a conflict as the attacker on one of those rings next turn will receive the fate. The Ring of Fire goes back as well, and then you have the option to discard any fate subcards in your province that you don't want to keep. If it's in a broken province, you have to discard it.
So I have to discard
You
that.
have to discard that one, yes, and you have the option of discarding Edith Homenatsu.
I'll keep it.
Okay, so your broken province needs refilling with a face down card, and then you would take the active player token for next round, which is just over there. And then we go back to the Dynasty phase for next round, so you both flip all of your cards face up.
And
you
also,
receive
so
the
end
7.
turn, you untap everything.
That's right, yeah, everything unbounds, they ready.
These ones go away because they've got no.
That's right, of course, yes, we skipped through a very important part of the game there. So any character with no fate will get discarded, any character with 1 or more fate will lose 1 fate.
Turning these over now.
That's right, so you also receive your 7th fate, which you get at the start of each round.
Right, so to ask a question, that one hasn't got any fate.
That's right, that's a holding. So the holding will remain in the province until at the end of any turn you decide to discard it. The province will not hold any other cards.
Right, so you can
And
put it up.
it gives
but
you
don't get
access to
any
that
characters.
ability, and it increases the province strength as well.
Okay. That's quite funky.
Okay, so then you would have the first opportunity to buy something.
Start. Buy. So obviously, once these are already in play, you can't add extra fate.
That's right, it's only when you buy a character, when you play a character I should say. That does include playing characters from hand though. You can find characters in both decks.
Start. Fate. 1, 2. Fate. 2 normal cost. For a Stoic Gunso, and then I'll overpay by 1.
Okay. Okay. 2 cost. Bring that one in.
Let's just go over to the old.
Visibility and things that can do that.
So an interesting point on the Stoic Gunso from the Crab Clan player is that characters from hand can be played in any action when you do. But it's also possible to play them directly into conflicts when you need them.
Okay. Next one. Fate. 3. Revengeful Berserker. And over to you, boss.
So there we have one of many combos to be found in the Crab Clan involving sacrificing characters for various benefits.
That's quite nice.
So the Stoic Gunso receives +3 military skill by sacrificing another one of your characters. The Vengeful Berserker reacts to one of your characters being sacrificed and gains a military skill bonus equal to its base skill of 3.
Hi guys, hope you're enjoying the Legend of the Five Rings demonstration that they put on while I was busy trying to get some stuff to work.
So on the first round of the game, the first person's pass in the dynasty phase will receive 1 additional fate.
Spend the 3.
Now it's on to you, I pass it.
Pass then.
So now goes the draw phase, which is where you bid using your honour dice to draw cards.
Not in a minute, mate, just on the stream at the minute, so pop back in a bit. Live TV, yeah?
So both players have now selected their bids, so now you reveal both dice.
1.
2.
So a bid of 2 and a bid of 1, which means that the Lion player will give 1 of their honour to the Crab player, but draw 2 cards while the Crab player draws only 1.
Right, so then I get the first conflict choice now.
You do. So there is an action window before that, if either of you would like to take any actions before the first conflict of the round.
Why not? I am going to go for a military conflict, and
That's fine. You don't have to.
that one with a chip on it. with these two.
Those two.
Make
So
it
what type of ring is it? I assume it's a military challenge of
Yep.
course.
we're going to go
Oh, that's fine.
that one.
Ring of water. So you immediately receive a fate from the ring. So if successful, this attack will either ready any character, of course right now there are no bound characters, or it will bow any character with no fate on it.
So I choose what to defend with.
Well, the first thing we do is you reveal the province that's being attacked. After that,
yeah.
you can decide whether and what you'd like to defend with. So this is a manicured garden.
We're in a conflict at this province, gain 1 fate.
Yeah, so that was use an action. So when we get moved to the action window, we can
Yeah.
use that to gain a fate. So here's where you would decide if you're going to defend with any of the characters you already have in play. Any other characters or attachments from hand can be played during the conflict itself.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just doing a volume test just to see how that went.
Defend with those two.
So defending with the brawler and the gunso, or the samurai and the gunso.
Brawler. So
Brawler's okay. So defending with brawler and gunso. So brawler, by the way, has an ability which will only work while you're attacking. So I'll just mention that as you decide on your defense.
There are a bunch of people playing Pokemon Go there.
So now that we know who's defending, the defender has the first opportunity to take an action during the conflict.
Well, awesome.
Currently, total stand at 5 military skill for the lion and 5 for the crab. In fact, it's 6 for the lion because the lion have the imperial favour. So
I'm winning at the moment. So.
there is no need for lions to take an action. But there's also no reason not to use the manicured garden. It simply
Yeah.
gives
Oh
you
yeah,
a
that's an
fate.
action, isn't it? It gives me a fate.
I will pay 1 fate.
Just leave this as it is, so your opponent knows it's not broken.
Now, attachments can come in during the combat
Yes,
phase,
they
yeah?
can.
I'm going to make the Stoic Gunso a Watch Commander. So it gives him +1/+1. And after an opponent plays a card during a conflict in which attached characters participate in, you lose an honour.
Yeah, so now that your opponent knows what it does, what we can just do is slide it down and then he can line the numbers up and we can see what the totals are.
Okay?
So that makes us 6 and 6, does it?
6
Yes.
against 6. And the attacker will always win ties, which are not 0.
So I'll tap that one.
Well,
Give me another-
unfortunately, that will only work on the attack.
Is it?
Yes, so all of your attacking characters get
Oh,
+1
yeah, yeah. So we'll play action.
So
Doubles
here we have a card
their
called
skill.
Way of the Lion. So Way of the Lion will double the military skill of any lion clan character. So that's one of the Way of cards. So there's a Way of card for each clan and they'll all do something very specific to that clan.
We have the lion. Double her lion.
Okay.
This gives the lion a total of 9 military skill against the crab 6. However, the watch commander will cause the lion to lose 1 honour for playing a card from hand.
So you lose 1 of your honour. Then I get an action. Right. I'm going to use his ability to sacrifice a friendly character.
Okay.
Yep. So she dies, but because she's dishonoured, I lose
right, yeah.
honour. But he gets +3 strength until the end of conflict. And because someone else has left play, he doubles his to 6.
So suddenly the crab have 12 military skill. This against the lion's skill of 9. So although this will be enough to win the battle if no one takes any more actions, it's not currently enough to also destroy the province, which has 4 strength, so would require 13 when added to the strength of the defending army.
I think ultimately I'm just going to use this as
So we still got to go through, so...
We have passed then.
So I'm just trying to work this out. So he's at 6, he's at 5, 6. So 12 versus 6.
This is 9.
yeah, so but
What do we need to break the province?
5
We require 13 to take the province.
Need 13.
Yes, so you have 12 right now.
I'm going to give each character plus
Well,
1 strength.
So unfortunately the strongholds would only work on the defence, which is
Defence
the wording on the ability.
Oh, sorry, yes. Way around. Oh, that's... Oh, I should have run her in.
Aha, you do have a
Right, I'm going to be cheeky then.
yeah,
I'm going to pay 2. And I can play in one of these
You can.
to add 2.
So its ability is not relevant since the ability only works on defence, but it will give the crab an extra 2 points of military skill.
so yeah, I don't know when
Anything, sir.
USB.
So in order to save the province, the lion would require another 2 points of military skill.
Nothing.
So the lion player has passed,
I'll pass.
so has the crab, so this means the province will be destroyed, so we'll do all the checks in order. So we know the province is destroyed, so it rotates 180 degrees. You have the choice of discarding the card currently in the province if you would like to.
Sorry?
You have the choice to discard the card in the province if you would like to,
Yep.
and then if you do it would refill. And you are not unopposed, there's no on loss. And then next you would resolve the effect of the Ring of Water.
Which is the attacking player either chooses a character and readies it or chooses with no fate and bower.
So right now, of course, there are no bowed characters to ready, so you would choose a bower character. So the Kodo Gunso is bowed by the Ring of Water. And then the Lion have a card called Ready for Battle, which will respond to any effect that bows one of their cards and immediately ready that card. And finally, every character participating in the conflict will go home bowed. And then we return to the conflict phase action window.
My choice.
So before the next conflict, you do both have a chance to take actions, though.
Start with me because I'm active, so I've got no actions.
Destiny players, you have some 10 minutes left. 10 minutes.
Putting some of those in the wrong pile, aren't I? This one has to be discarded to be able to.
You can play it normally as well.
Can you? I will attack then with the military.
Okay.
And the one on this end.
Okay, so we have a total of 3 military force approaching, and what ring would you like this to be?
It's alright. Yes, yeah.
Take air.
So you receive a fate that's on the ring of air. And so we have a military air challenge on your rightmost province.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is we flip the province to see what it is.
Night Raid. After this province is revealed, your opponent chooses and discards X cards from their hand. X is equal to the number of attackers. So because you've got 2 attackers,
Two
you've got
cards.
2 cards. Okay, so now we get an action window after that.
You do, so the province is revealed, it has the reaction that you've just resolved being revealed, so beginning with actually the next thing that happens is you assign any defenders that you would like to assign, but then there would be an action window as you say, so you have the option of putting the Heater Guardian in the conflict if you like.
It's obviously just
Bowed characters, of course, can never assign to a conflict.
I'm going to leave it undefended. Okay.
And I noticed there's no card on the Elemental Fury at the moment, so that just needs a card in that province next to it.
Yep.
The Elemental Fury next to it just needs a card in it.
So that goes, yeah?
No, that's
No. You just
So
put
the
one
one
on the
called
card next to
Elemental
it.
Fury, your second from your right, needs a
Not
card
a
in the
card.
province.
Yep.
Okay, so no defenders, but you do have the first chance to take an action.
My action is, I'm going to use this, sacrifice a friendly character to draw a card. So I'm going to sacrifice him.
So it's interesting to point out that actions are once per round unless otherwise stated. So this would not give him another chance to react with the Vengeful Berserker for a further increase to military skill.
There's an action. I'll use my
So the Lion Stronghold provides
Five.
each attacking character plus 1 military skill. And in fact I think we have 6 because you currently have the favour.
no 6 with that, yes.
And he has to equal a province strength to
Yes,
break
because
it.
the attacker will always win ties unless the tie is 0.
How often do you go keep your view? I'll pass.
Pass then.
Okay. So he's at 6, which is greater than that 4, so that breaks it.
And then we just refill the province. And then, so every character in the conflict will return home bound. Of course, that's the last thing that happens, so we should do it in order. So we'll do the Ring of Air effect. You can either receive 2 honour or steal 1 honour from your opponent.
Take 1 honour from my opponent.
And there was also an honour loss of 1 for an unopposed challenge.
So an extra 1 loss.
A loss rather than transferring.
Okay.
So that would happen whenever there are no defenders at the time of resolution. Even if there was a defender earlier and it left the battle, if there are none, you lose an honour.
Okay, then I get another conflict. Which I'm going to pass that actually.
And I'll pass as well then.
So I will again just mention that it is still possible to claim a ring, even if you don't take the province.
Right, okay. So what are the other 2 rings we've got? We've got Earth, which is discarding or hoarding. So you know what? Go for it. I'll go for a political.
Hi guys, just to let you know, because I was seeing in chat some messages about X-Wing. There's no X-Wing today, there's some hangar-based stuff, but the tournament isn't starting to start till tomorrow. So today is just me just kind of setting stuff up, testing stuff out. I don't get very many opportunities to test in a live situation like this. So just kind of messing with things, making sure everything's working. And X-Wing will start tomorrow. At what time does X-Wing start tomorrow?
But it also makes you quite happy because it's only a 3-strength province.
Sorry?
It should make you quite happy because it's only a 3-strength
Half-past
province.
9 is the start of round 1, more or less. Yeah, 7 rounds of Swiss tomorrow and top 32 on Sunday.
The Lion player draws 3 cards.
And for those of you interested in Legend of 5 Rings, stay tuned.
Well, we're going to break some things. So, while this character costs the conflict, choose actually another participating character.
Oh, it's okay. My mistake.
my card.
Another
Yeah.
character.
Ooh.
Forgot I got that one.
Yes.
Yeah, I was
I have the same habit.
pretty much ready to sell.
Yeah, I've got no way of pumping it, so you obviously pass some of your actions. I'll pass mine.
Okay,
So all I
you-
get is the Rings effect.
And also you cause your opponent 1 point of honour loss for not having any defence.
Yeah?
So I lose 1 honour.
Yeah.
You get the rings effect, which is
The attack, yeah, so if the attacker played or discards 1,
So
I'm going to
for the
make you
ring
discard
effect-
1.
Well, it actually does both. So you get to draw a card and your opponent discards a random card from their hand.
Three of that, okay. That's that. Yeah, it's random. Yeah, so go for that.
that's the one I forgot to play.
So, she comes back bowed.
That's correct. But you do claim the ring, which will put you ahead in the race for the favour.
That's that. So, all conflicts done, we all pass.
So neither player has any glory on ready characters. However, the Crab player has 2 rings to the Lion player's 1, which means that you will be claiming the favour for this round and choosing which side you want.
I'll keep it on military.
Sorry.
So that's that.
Yep, so then any character with no fate will be discarded. Any character with fate will lose 1 fate. And then we'll put the fate on the ring, as he's just done. and we proceed to the next round.
So their fate gets discarded. Next is
Rather than putting my phone separately through the
okay. Right, over. And then this passes
The active
over.
play marker
Yep.
transfers to the lion.
So these flip over now.
They do, as do the crab.
Right, so you first, boss.
So in the dynasty phase, each player will receive a further 7 fates from their stronghold. So here we have a particularly powerful card from Lion Clan, which you would expect from a card which costs 4 fates, which is very expensive. So it has an ability of when it enters play, it immediately honours itself, so it receives an honoured card to show its status. And during any conflict where the Honour General participates, then every other Lion character receives an additional point of military skill. And of course, being honoured, it receives an additional 2 to each of its skills, so it's already 5 military.
So 2 goes on there.
So here we have Peter Tomonatsu. An interesting card, because if he succeeds in defending a conflict, he can actually discard himself to return an attacking character to the top of its opponent's deck. Peter Tomonatsu is also a unique character. You can see the small circular icon next to the name there, so only one copy of him may be controlled by any one player. Each player may have 1 in play, but no one may have 2. You can also discard additional copies of a unique card that you happen to have in your hand or provinces in order to place additional fate on them.
Pass.
We've got the feed.
Nah, it's been one of those.
Okay.
And then I'll pass.
So both players having passed, we now proceed to the draw phase.
Good.
2 again.
4.
So another transfer of 2. The Crab Clan starting to look undecided and low honour here, while 6 is still a fairly safe range. In a single honour bid in the draw phase, you'll never lose more than 4 honour, outside of other card effects causing a bigger loss to happen. Meanwhile, the Lion Clan, I believe, are on 13 honour, so are still quite a distance off the goal of 25 to win the game via an honour victory.
Then you get the first conflict, boss.
You get the first conflict.
Yes.
We'll attack the one on that end with military. And we'll attack with more.
This one right here, yeah?
Yep.
I will. those two.
So this is a military conflict, I think you said, is that right?
Yeah, military conflict.
So we'll just go through the steps in order. So was it all three you were attacking?
Yeah.
So first, before you do that, before you do even that, we need to know what type of ring this relates to.
Yep.
I choose fire.
So the Ring of Fire, for those viewers on live stream, gives you a choice of two options if you win a conflict and claim it. You can either honour any character or dishonour any character, causing an increase or decrease to both its skill values equal to its glory, which is the number in the yellow circle in the middle right of a card.
So flip this one now.
Yep.
So here we have a province called Pilgrimage, which actually removes the ability on the ring as long as the province is not broken during the attack. If the province is broken, the ring will resolve normally, because the order of resolution is that you break the province and then resolve the ring.
Could I ask you how much longer you think this game will take?
I expect this game to take around another 20 minutes, I would say.
Okay. There's another one try, and I'm going to categorise it for the bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Right, so that's that. So now I assign defenders, which will be
Yeah.
those two. And then I get the first action because I'm defending.
You do?
What I've done today is at the exhibition.
So, Ida Guardian is looking particularly fearsome at this time, with 2 holdings in the crab provinces that would give a bonus of +4 to each skill of another participating character.
For a Stoic Bunter.
Speaking of participating characters, another crab has joined the fray. Not surprising, since the
1,
Lion
2,
are
3,
going
6.
all out on this attack.
I get +1 overall to
7.
the favour.
5, 6, 7, 8. Leave that. We're on 11.
So the Lion now with a total of 11 military skill. So to do the maths from all the
About
abilities,
this, and give
that's
everyone
3
+1.
base from the general, another one from the samurai, making 4. +1 to the 2 characters with the honour general, making 6. Another 3 from the Lion stronghold, making 9. And the honour general has the honour status for another 2, bringing the total up to 11.
The honoured blade on there. Another +2.
And there's an honoured blade for another +2, taking it to 13. Crab, meanwhile, have a total of 6 base on their characters. A further 3 from the stronghold take it to 9. The Imperial Favour takes it to 10. And I'm not quite sure if the Ida Guardian has used its ability yet.
Not yet. It's about to. So I'm going to use that, and this is going to be to remind myself that I've used it. And I'm going to choose him.
So that will take the total to 14.
Yeah,
Which
we've got 2
will actually
holdings right here.
deny the ring itself, the token, as well as the ring's ability being denied, both by Pilgrimage and by currently not winning the conflict.
Any of the tricks?
14 at the moment. You're on 14, are you?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, it does. 3, 5, 6, 9, 10,
We have a player choosing
14.
Must be on 15.
So I'm still on 14. 14. You know what? I'm going to go for Banzai. During the conflict, choose a participating character to get +2 military until the end of the conflict. I can lose an honour to resolve this ability twice.
The crab
leave it as
particularly
+2.
wanting to win this battle. So an interesting point about this battle is that the crab don't particularly need to win the conflict, because as things stand, as long as the province itself is not
So you're still
destroyed,
one above.
the ring will have no ability. And of course there'll be no honor loss either, because there is a defensive army.
Right. This is what's going to get interesting. I'm going to pay 1. So Way of the Crab. Sacrifice a friendly crab character, choose an opponent, you have to sacrifice a character. So I'm going to sacrifice the Guardian, which then buffs him up as well. You've still got to kill someone.
So it wouldn't buff up the Stoic Gunso, because the Stoic Gunso as an action requires you to sacrifice the character as the action itself. But it will cause the opponent.
Yep. So, I've got to rework this out now. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 2 is 10, 12, 13.
So let's just have a quick look at maths on that. So
17 because of the Guardian from earlier, just to remind me.
So Hidetominatsu has a base of 3, the Gunso has a base of 2, which is 5. Each of them has +1 from the stronghold, taking it to 7. And the ability on the Guardian adds another 4, taking it to 11. The Favour makes it 12. And was that a double banzai? Taking it to 16. A single banzai, taking it to 14. The ability on the Gunso was not actually used because it is an action, so it requires you to sacrifice a character for that ability.
Oh, okay.
But it does still take you to 14. And you don't need to win the battle, because the ring is blank anyway, as long as the province is not destroyed.
Just didn't want to break it too soon. So that's that. So that's all rectified. I have got one more action I want to do. So I'm going to pay 1 for Mountain Does Not Fall. Until the end of the phase, that character does not bow as a result of conflict resolution while defending. I'm going to pick that. That's there.
14, Simon Smithson.
So ordinarily, every participating character will bow after a conflict. The Mountain Does Not Fall allows you to select one character who is defending who will not bow and can therefore participate in another challenge later in the phase, or just add its glory to the race for the favour.
Massive stuff on nothing.
So he bows and comes back.
So what were the final totals there? So
14 for me.
14, and was it 17 on the line side? Is that right? Is that what you reached?
I lost a character because you got sacrificed.
So the only
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. So 14 plays 11 means that the crab claimed the ring token, but claiming the token will not allow you to resolve the ability if you are not the attacker.
So then he bows, she doesn't. Then I get to swing.
You certainly do. And you have 2 very large crab to swing with.
Let's give it a go. I'm going to go for military, surprisingly.
Yep.
At which one? The revealed one.
Yep.
So that's only what, strength 3? So he's 3 at the minute. 4 because of that. I'm going to make it a void. Okay.
Yep. Nothing I can do.
Nothing you can do?
Nope.
So I'll just break it.
And that will cause blind player to draw 3 cards.
Back, and I'll use the void ability to take a fate off her. Him. Whichever one is.
And of course, you still have the chance for another conflict, both of you do.
Nothing on your side? So it's over to me. You know what?
So the average strength of the province is 4. They're not all like that, but a lot of them are around that number.
Tell you what though.
Even if you can't take province, it's often worth attacking anyway.
To get more of the rings.
Yeah, and also just to see what the province is.
That one. With her for a Earth. Political.
So that's an important thing to find. So that's actually a 10 strength province against political conflicts. Against military, it's only 5. So it's good to know where that one is.
That's a bit of a nasty one. So obviously, actions on your half.
In fact, Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
There's no actions I want to do.
Okay, so he just Natsu would then bow and return home, and there's a point of honour loss there for not defending. And I suppose before he returns, he would resolve the ring effect as well.
Yeah, which is the I draw one.
And the opponent discards a random card. So then we check on who has the favour. That would be the crab player with 3 rings.
I will keep it as military favour.
And then discard any characters with no fate, remove 1 fate from the others, put the fate on the rings, and we'll move to the next round of play.
The dice now. I'm assuming the attachments with the character removes.
The attachments go in the discard pile that relates to those cards. Okay, so it's possible in theory for the game to end any turn from now, because a third broken province allows a future attack to target the opponent's stronghold directly. Of course, it's not easy to take 2 provinces in a single turn, but it is possible and it does happen.
Flip. Now, there's a action window at the start of your dynasty phase.
During your dynasty phase, so that would count against the first player passing this extra phase. So you could just as easily save that for later in the turn and do it when it doesn't require you to pass to get phase. I'm
going to sacrifice that.
Okay.
Draw a card.
Did I just ask about Hidis Hominatsu as well? Did he lose a phase earlier?
I'm saying that.
And then you just refill the province face down, and of course get your fate for this round.
Okay. So I'll pop that, draw cards.
And the province also refills.
Right, so you buy that.
So here we have another Kitsu Spirit
I'm
Core.
going to go for 1, 2.
So there is now a discard pile for the Lion Clan, so we'll be able to bring further characters into play.
Over to you.
And from what I can see, each player is around the halfway through their deck points. Whenever a player runs out of cards in either of their decks, the deck reshuffles, but they do lose 5 honour.
So in order to advance
Same again. Pay 3.
so I would probably
Pass.
Surprisingly, pass. Now this is where honour becomes quite fun.
And there have been quite a lot of unopposed conflicts in this game, so the overall amount of honour in the game has gone down quite a lot. It currently stands at 18, where it was on 22, so 4 honour has been lost from the combined totals.
Judges on here.
Ready? 3.
So I have a 3 and a 5 here, so 2 honour will transfer from the Lions
Take
to
2
the
off
Crab.
you. There you go.
So after the draw phase, we have an action window.
No, it's me.
Your first player. So.
It's a conflict.
Situations where it's good to be the first player and where it's good to be the second one. Being the first player allows you the first chance to buy characters in the dynasty phase and pass to gain phase.
So I've broken
It allows you the
2,
first
haven't
chance to
I?
win and disrupt your opponent's cards for the rest of the conflict phase. However, being the second player can also be useful, especially in the conflict phase, because you can play defensively and let your opponent declare their conflicts, and when you know they can't declare any more conflicts, you're then free to
All
commit
3?
the remaining characters to a final challenge.
All 3.
Final
Going.
conflicts to try and hopefully break a province and pave the way to the stronghold.
Earth, military, and that one.
So we have an Earth military challenge, and all of the crab are assigning to the attack.
During conflicts of this province, cancel all ring effects.
So here we have another copy of the Pilgrimage province, and as long as the province is not broken by the attack, the ring effect will not resolve during that conflict. So now it would be the Lion Clan's choice to assign defenders. So both of the Lion Clan are defending against this challenge. The Death Seeker has a particularly interesting ability, in this it reacts to losing a conflict. Although that ability can only be used, of course, when it is attacking, so it won't be relevant here. The Spirit Caller has the ability to bring another character into the conflict, but by bowing itself,
First action.
so it will not add to the total skill.
Bow that character.
And again, as mentioned earlier, when you put a character into play through a card effect, you don't have the ability to add phase to that character. Of course, all other abilities can still be used.
Now, just to refresh me, in the challenge, but while they're bowed, they don't contribute the strength, or do they
So
still?
bound
bowed out.
characters will not add skill. They're still in the challenge, but they don't add skill to the total.
I'm going to pay 1. The Way of the Crab. I sacrifice a friendly crab character. You have to sacrifice a character. And your action.
So the totals at the moment, the Honoured General has 5 military skill, and which is now 7 with the addition of a fine katana. The majority of cards can be played in any action window, including one in the middle of
The Way of
conflict.
the Crab.
So,
Oh no, sorry. Can't do that. Would help if I read my card.
So some cards in the game do say on them limit once per round.
I should scuppered that plan. You know what? I'm going to give her the sword.
Of course, a second copy of that card would still provide the opponent the option of sacrificing the
You
bound
on
Kitsune Spirit Caller.
8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
So currently the Crab have got 8 military skill against the Lion's 7. The Lion have played a charge, which immediately plays a character from a province into a military conflict at a cost of 1 phase.
So how much have you got right now?
5, 12,
And
13, 14. They boost each other.
I'm going to go tax this for 1. Give her +1/+1, and whenever you play a card, you lose an honour.
So you're on 9 now, so I'm beating you by 5.
Yeah.
Safe, we'll play. We have the Lion to make it 8 I'm beating you by.
So the Watch Commander can react to that and cause the Lion to lose 1 honour.
Pass.
So you win that conflict.
Yep.
So, because he's won the conflict, he rectifies the ring.
So the ring is only ever resolved by the attacker. The token itself is claimed, the ability is only used if an attacker wins the conflict.
She bows. He bows. And then it's over to you, sir.
I will pass.
Surprisingly, I will pass too. So you get. So following this, Scar characters and Fate. As Fate unclaimed rings. I really do like that mechanic. That's why
I gain fate for that, do I? Or I gain that for
you
that?
gain the favour because you have
Yep.
more them than me. So do you want it as military? Or
Yeah, military, why not?
That's that. And then ready cards, discard cards from provinces, and burn the turn. Pass the first player turn.
So in the Lion provinces here we see the Lion Clan champion, Akodo Sotori. So each clan has a champion. They tend to have a very high fate cost, particularly high skill or skills, and a very powerful ability, as you would expect from the leader of the clan. So Kodo Sotori's ability is that whenever he claims a ring in a military conflict, then he can resolve the ring's ability. The rings benefit the attacking player, so he was used that when he attacks, and succeeds in winning a conflict.
So it's on me to buy.
Start that game again. Right. Tastes like her.
So here we return to the player again of the Honoured General.
I'll play Hiruma Yojimbo, paying 2, and then overcosting 2. She can't be declared as an attacker. So that's that. Over to you.
There's a lot of fate on rings this round, should make it easier for each player to add further cards to the table. And of course, if the game enters a very defensive situation, such as we've seen in the last few rounds, then when the decks cycle, that will cause a large amount of on-loss and speed the game up in that way. So a reminder of those who are not here for the opening explanation of the victory conditions.
No option.
If you are ever a 25 honour, you will win the game immediately. If you're a 0 honour, you will immediately lose the game. Third win condition
He's got
is
courtesy
to
when he leaves
break
play,
those
gain
provinces,
fate.
and then
Sincerity
select
when he leaves play,
directly,
draw a
break
card.
the province underneath it.
Pass.
It also gives you an instant win of the
Action.
game.
I'm going to sacrifice a friendly character, this guy, to draw a card. Because he's left play, I draw a card. And because he's left play, I gain a fate.
So the game does feature a small number of keywords, which are
You gain
two
fate
of them in
passively.
use, the courtesy and sincerity keywords, each of which triggers on a character leaving play. One of
the
them
action
will
from
provide
that
you
one
with
on
a
your
card draw,
thing
the other
down there,
one
the
provides you with
This
a
one?
fate.
Yeah.
That lets me pop the character,
Yeah.
then it all synergizes in. I'm going to pay 1, just to guarantee. I'm going to play Reprieve. It adds no stat benefits. If that character would leave play, I can discard that instead.
So the ability on Reprieve will also prevent the character from being discarded at the end of the turn, through having no fate on it.
And I will pass there. So, over to draw phase. Ready?
Yep.
It's a 4.
5.
I'll take 1 hour off you.
Both players opting to draw a large number of cards in anticipation of a large battle that's no doubt going to happen this turn. Now we can see here that those decks are really starting to look low now, so we may see a 5-point on loss if provinces are broken this turn, which with such a large hand may well happen.
You swing first, sir.
I guess we're going to attack the military. Go for the unrevealed one.
So we have here a
Which
military
conflict are you doing
conflict
it as?
from the Lion. Signing both the Honor General and the Kodo Totori. It's a military conflict against the unrevealed province, which may be a good choice, so it's quite likely to have less than 5 strength, depending on which province it is. When you are building a deck, you do select one province from each of the 5 elements. And I think we've yet to see the Earth province and Lion deck, which are also, the Crab deck, which are also
province
quite
is the fertile field. During a conflict at its province, I can take an action to draw a card. So now I get defenders.
Fertile Fields has been revealed at 4 province strength.
And you're an almighty 6. 10 at the moment?
6, 11, 12, 13. He gives him +1, so he's on 7, he gets +2.
Okay, it's a horrible way to start this fight.
So the Lion attacking with a total 13 skill. The Crab currently deciding on who will defend, I think.
I'm going to block these two.
So the Crab elects to defend with 2 characters.
10.
This leaves a 3rd character available. Either feats with other abilities, or declare a subsequent conflict later in the round.
13, so 1 shot, I've been able to do it.
Right, currently he's strength 4.
5.
5. I'm going to pay 1 fate to use route. During the conflict, choose an opponent's character with low military skill and a participating bushi, send it home. Send him home. Over to you, sir.
So the Lion player considering his options here. So a large character has just been sent home by route, leaving only 6 military skill in the conflict on the Lion side. So the Lion playing a Master of the Spear from hand.
What's that?
So it has the ability of, while attacking, it can cause the defending players choose and send home one of their characters. That would require an action to trigger that ability, and the Crab player gets to take an action first.
Yeah. Let's be a little bit dirty. Pay 2. Hivruma Ambusher. Ambusher, I can never say that word. After the character enters play as a defender, choose a character that cannot trigger their abilities. I choose you.
Got cards, but nothing I can do.
So currently I'm winning at the moment.
Yeah, easily.
You're winning.
I'm going to be cheeky one last time. I'm going to pay 1 for the mountain does not fall. She will not bow from combat resolution.
So then, after the conflict, all characters participating in the conflict, with the exception of Hida Tomnatsu, will go home bound. The ring token itself, if both players were passing, will be claimed by the Crab player.
I pass as well then.
Yeah.
So I win the conflict,
Yep.
which means I claim that. She comes home bowed, she bows, he bows. And then my conflict.
Yep.
So, as a reaction from hand, Lion has just played a Vengeful Oathkeeper, which when you lose a military conflict can be played without cost.
Okay.
However, I think there was a Watch Commander in that conflict, which would mean that the Lion player could lose none of playing the card from hand.
I'm going to Political. At the field province.
So
that
the
one over there.
characters don't bow when they assign to the conflict, they are still ready.
Also have it from other card games there.
Your opponent may have abilities which bow them, in which case they will not add their skill. So what type of conflict is this?
Sorry?
Is this a conflict? What type of conflict is
Political.
Go for.
And which ring and where is it?
I've already got the water.
Attacking this one here.
Political conflict, that's unexpected.
And that's it. I think
I'm going to
generally.
go for water.
Oh, this is actually political. Okay.
Defend with both.
And whereabouts is this? Pilgrimage? Okay. So currently we have 4 on the crab side against...
Fantasy Flight Gamers! At about 7:30 we will be kicking players out unless you have a Armada ticket or a Star Wars LCG ticket, so you have until 7:30 to finish your side then.
Okay, so you get first action, sir.
First action.
Equally, if you are participating in the Netrunner charity quiz, you will also be allowed to stay until the end of this event. However, at 7:30 we will end all side events. If you are currently mid-game, we will enact the end of round procedure for your event. And if you wish to continue the pod, if you have rounds remaining another day, we can make that happen for you. Thank you.
What's going there?
So,
Also, also there. You played a card, so you lose a lot.
So a character can have any number of attachments, and that character is fine. Only 2 of them can have restricted keywords, but the character only has 2 restricted attachments. This relates to the number of hands the character can hold items in.
It's the battle of the fans now.
We're not quite at the stage of getting everyone.
Court games. During a political conflict, select one. Choose an honour and participate in character I control, or your opponent chooses and dishonours a participating character they control. So I'm going to go for you dishonour someone.
So I'm just going to point out there is a Vengeful Oathkeep which only has 0 glory. Are you sure you want to go for the dishonour option?
If I honour myself though, my strength goes up then.
That's right.
Alright, we'll go for that instead then.
What's your 2, 4, 5,
Excuse me, guys. Is it still going?
Sorry,
Alright, no problem. Just so you know, okay, I'm going to cut the stream now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm perfectly happy to keep the game recorded up until now. Okay.
No worries.
And you'll be able to watch it at home some other time. Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright, cool.
No worries, man. Either way, I think he's cut it. We've had our demo anyway.
Yeah.
He's just cutting it now.
No worries. So we'll finish this, and then me and you will
4,
pitch it, I
5,
think.
6, 7. You're on 8 as well, aren't you? So
8 at the most, sir.
pass.
I'm going to pay 2. I'm going to bring in a Stoic Gunso, adding...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut this stream because there's something I want to test to make sure everything's working for tomorrow. And to do that, I've got to cut the stream. And I think we're actually going to have to ship out soon unless you're part of a specific event because they don't want people getting too many tickets for those prices. Everyone's been going nuts on these Hangar Bay events. What do I need? So you might see the stream come back on, but there's not going to be any further content for today. Just me testing around some stuff, okay? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time is when the event will start. I might even leave the stream running during the night just to make sure I have no problems tomorrow, okay?
What you'd normally do in those kind of situations is you might let them take a